Tangerine, right?
Right. Let's move to Just Wondering in Waterford. Let's
Oh,
see what Just Wondering is inquiring. Just wondering.
Just wondering.
Dear David, I was just wondering, says, I want to do a property trust for investing in property. I want the trust to hold the title to the property. I have been told it is best to keep my identity private from the public by using a trust. Is this right, and what should I do? Just wondering in Waterford.
What are they, a celebrity?
I guess. No pictures, please. No pictures.
First of all, I would, uh, you can hold property in several ways. You can hold property under your individual name or individually. You can hold it in a company. It could be a C Corp, or it could be a limited liability company. You can hold property in a trust. All of these are different entities. They're legal entities. When you're dealing with a trust as opposed to an LLC, depending on how intense your transactions are, I don't know why this person wouldn't just consider doing a limited liability company. It gives you, pass-through income, your tax as an individual, but you're at an individual rate, but you get the benefits of the corporate protections from legal liability, so long as you act as a company in accordance with the rules and regulations of our state. So, okay, what's the appeal of a trust? The trust does the same thing. We can create a trust for you. But if it's the privacy you're looking for, well, you can have a trust. You can have, a trust is an entity. A trust could own the company. So you could have a trust that owns an LLC. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can configure your entity.
Right.
I'm a KISS guy. That means,
Keep it
the band
simple,
KISS.
silly, yeah.
Simple, stupid. Pardon me. I've been blessed over the many years, ever since starting Amatis, owning hundreds of properties and mortgages, etc. And I did quite well and still do with limited liability companies. Okay, you can make a trust. That's what you want to do. We're happy to do it. You can do it.
Yep. To be honest, I think this is more of a new investor question. Someone, especially if they just say, "I'm just wondering," This sounds like a lot of questions that I receive from people who are thinking about getting into real estate investing, and they know that they shouldn't hold property in their personal name, but they literally don't know what to hold it in. And so this is someone who is saying, I've been told it's best to keep my identity private from the public. This to me sounds like a new investor who's like, I don't know, what should I do? What even is a trust? Like, how should I do it? Or maybe not, because I would ask this person, well, what type of investment property? Like, do you want to flip the house or hold it forever? Or, what do you want to do with it? So
the trust, I mean, you can have more privacy with the trust, but the trust and the limited liability company pretty much do. I mean, this is generally speaking, again, we'd have to know their specific circumstance, but limited liability company should be fine for most people. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, maybe I'm a little too harsh. We get the question a lot, and I get these fanciful requests to orchestrate these transactions. And I'm like, dude or lady, how many homes do you own? And they're like, oh, I own 3. Okay, well, I'm not here to prejudge, but why do you make it so difficult? Let's get you a limited liability company, unless you're. And by the way, I would defer also when you're starting to deal with trust, like real trust issues. You have the attorney who should be also working in concert with the individual's accountant. Okay.
Okay.
So if they really are creating a trust, I'm going to want a little bit more. I want to know more about the tax status of that individual. Okay. But limited liability company should suffice for most people. And then it begs other questions, such as how many how many properties should I put under a limited liability company? Should I have each house should I have, or each property should I have its own limited liability company?
Yes.
There's so many different things. And, you know, in the end, you have to do, you know, we can give you ideas, but ultimately you have to do what's best for you. Not to drag this out any longer, but, you know, people who do a limited liability company for each property that they hold, there's a lot of administration that comes into play in operations. So if you have one company for each property that you own, and you have 20 properties,
yes,
you better get one of those companies better be your property management company, because otherwise you're going to be depositing checks into 20 different bank accounts. And it costs money, and you're going to have the accountant balance or bookkeeper balance every account for you every month. What a pain in the ass.
I know.
Make it simple. Put 20 properties. Don't put 20 properties under one LLC. You might want to put 4 properties under an LLC, then make a new LLC, put 4 new properties under. You know, you can do that. Or there's so many different things that you can do. But I will share one more thing with you, Blair. There's so much information on the internet, and there are so many people who think, you know, they're real estate investors, and they're selling real estate programs, and they're telling you to do this, and they're telling you to do that, and oh, the newest thing is this in Wyoming. I'm not going to get too much into it.
Sure,
Wyoming, no, okay. I respect. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You can put it under a 401k, put it under your IRA. You know, all these different things. I've done some of these. Okay, but in the end, a lot of that is just people trying to sell you a product. It's just a way to make money. It doesn't accomplish the goal any better than, for most people, a simple LLC.
Yep.
I'm done preaching.
No, I'm over here smiling because this question sounds like every new investor question that I've seen get asked to you. Like, so David and I live in the same like metro area, and we attend networking events together before COVID, when you could actually go and be in a room full of people. And oftentimes David would be the speaker, and there were always questions like this, and exactly like what you said. You know, should I form an LLC, or should I put it in a trust, and how many properties should I have, and should I have a LLC for every property? And so that was funny. It was just like reminiscent of literally every new investor question that I've ever heard asked to you every time you take the stage to present at an event.
But and it's okay, and people, I don't want to discourage people from asking.
Right, exactly. You need to know. You don't know what you don't know.
Right. And but you know, I get the question at least once a week, Blair. Yeah. And so I always say, like, when they're talking about, like, I'm going to form this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to, you know, give them like all these different maneuvers and I'm like, well, how many properties do you own? And they go, nothing. I'm like, why don't you be kinder to yourself? Be nicer to yourself. Let's start with one property, and let's make an LLC for you.
Right.
Let's start there. And, you know, the problem is that there's so much chatter online, so much outside chatter, people telling people what to do. There's great mentors, and we might as well segue into this. You know, we're part of a group that happens to be very, I think, one of the most helpful online groups for real estate investing out there. And I have you know, there's nothing I get, there's no monetary gain that I get from telling people this. If you're in the metropolitan Detroit area, but you don't have to be just in Detroit. I mean, there are members all over the country. You should really check out the Michigan Real Estate Investor Network, because it's just a bunch of people who keep giving back, and it's like everybody feeds off the information, and the people move forward based on just solid relationships and good information and mentorship. So I would encourage people, if you're watching this and you have these questions, don't just take my word for it. There's a bunch of people in this group. Call Blair, call Dylan, one of the founding members, call Erica. I mean, there's so many people that can give you great information. And if they don't know, the first thing they can say is, I don't know, call Jeff Shipp. No, just kidding.
Right.
But there's people there that can really give great information, and you should be out there asking questions. But at some point, be kind to yourself. There are going to be advisors who are going to tell you, do it this way. You can always change it at a later date. nothing ever is written completely in stone.
Yep.
Except your title policy. If you go and take a policy with an exception, that's a different story.
No, that's for sure. No, and this also circles back to the importance of building your power team. Like all of the advice that you get from other people who are in the real estate industry at whatever capacity, whether they're an investor or a realtor, take into consideration everything that everybody tells you, but just take it into consideration, but then take that to the experts like your CPA or your attorney or, you know, the title company, but somebody high up, preferably the owner, supervisor of a title company. It is just so key. Real estate brokers, not just agents,
Right.
you know,
Right.
go
That's
take it to those top tier people. So don't disregard what other people say, but also don't take a response to your Facebook post as gospel either. Like take it to the experts. So that's been something that's been very valuable for me, is building my power team. So full disclosure, David's a part of my power team, and he's definitely been an asset to our business and a proven resource, I would say, whenever I have any questions or hiccups along the way. But yeah, so if you're a new investor or you're just in real estate investing in general, head to Michigan Real Estate Investor Network on Facebook and join the group. It's free. We do a lot of in-person networking in the past. We can't right now due to COVID, but we still do all of that networking online and virtually. And David's been a part of it all, whether we're meeting in person or we're getting together online. So check that networking group out. There's a lot of great info and content in there. So, all right, David, unless you have any final parting words on any of this, that is a wrap for this evening.
Yeah, it was, I don't know what time it is, but I think, oh, wow, we did pretty good today.
We did.
So,
We made killer time.
Yeah.
So before I let you go, one more time, for the folks that are catching the tail end of this,
Sure.
how can people reach out to you and reach out to your office with their questions or concerns?
Well, first of all, you can always, email us at team@provenresource.com. We have a great newsletter that comes out every month that you can get for free. It's in print, and that has tons of information there related to real estate and how to get in touch with us. We can be found at provenresource.com. You can type in my name, which is spelled S-O-B-L-E. That's the last name spelling. And you can also type in, real estate attorney David Sobel. And I'm trying to think what else. We have a great YouTube station. We have a lot of books that we published that are free. Everything that I provide, except some of the legal advice, is free.
Right.
I have tons of white papers. We have a lot of videos. I have slideshows. I have 6 books out over the years related to real estate, related to business contracts, how to deal with family and friends and business and real estate. So I just encourage people to just give us a call at 888-789-1715 or go to the website, or you can call us, and we're always happy to talk briefly.
Right. That's
briefly.
right.
We're always happy to speak.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. And that's really, in life, that's kind of how I look at everything. You want it done right, but just keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate everything. Real estate is complicated enough. There's so many variables to make a successful real estate investor. So do yourself a favor and be kind to yourself and make it easy as you can.
Good. Good parting words.
Thank you.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Ask the Attorney. David, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, Claire. Always fun.
Always fun. All right. Well, everyone have a great evening, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.